The Inn of Endless Tales. Once upon a time, on a foggy night, a young girl named Luna walked alone along a quiet country road. Her heart was filled with hope, but also fear, as she had been searching for her father, who had disappeared without a trace. In her hands, she clutched an old handkerchief, the only memory she had left of him. Suddenly, she saw an inn ahead of her, one she had never noticed before. It was a warm, inviting building, lit by soft lanterns casting a golden glow. The door, slightly ajar, seemed to beckon her to enter. Luna stopped and whispered to herself, "There was nothing here before. Maybe I'll find a clue about Dad inside." Taking a deep breath, she pushed the door open and stepped inside. The atmosphere in the inn was magical. The air smelled of spices and burning wood from the fireplace. The walls were adorned with paintings that seemed to move, and the sweet sound of a violin filled the room. At the center of the hall stood a kind giant, welcoming guests with a warm smile. "Welcome, little traveler," the giant said in a deep, gentle voice. "My name is Gideon. It's not often we see humans here. Who might you be?" "I'm Luna," the girl replied, shy but determined. "I'm looking for my father. He disappeared a long time ago, and I was told this inn only appears to those with a heart searching for a story or for answers." "Ah, such courage!" exclaimed a tiny fairy who appeared as a glowing light. Her name was Melisande, and her lively face wore a constant smile. "Every guest here has a special story to tell, but maybe your story hasn't been written yet." "Or," interrupted a black cat holding a violin in its paws, "it's already begun, and you just haven't realized it." He paused, winking. "Do you want to hear a story or live one?" "Live one," Luna answered without hesitation. "I'll do anything to find my father." Gideon nodded and motioned for Luna to follow him. They walked through the inn until they reached a golden door that glimmered with its own light. "Behind this door," Gideon explained, "stories come to life. But be careful, little Luna. What you see will reflect your desires and your fears. Not all stories have happy endings." Luna nodded resolutely, and without hesitation she opened the door. A brilliant light enveloped her, transporting her to an enchanted world. She found herself in a forest of vivid colors, with towering trees that seemed to touch the sky. Ahead of her, a castle floated above a lake of light. Luna looked around, hoping to find her father. That's when a figure emerged from the shadows, a man dressed as a traveler, his gaze lost and distant. "Dad?" Luna called out, her voice trembling. "Is that you?" The man looked at her, but seemed not to recognize her. "Who are you? How did you enter my story?" he asked, his tone sad. "It's me, Luna," the girl cried, stepping closer. "I'm your daughter." The man's eyes filled with sorrow. "My heart is trapped here," he explained. "I can't leave this story until it is written to its end." At that moment, Melisande appeared beside Luna, fluttering like a glowing butterfly. "To free your father," she said, "you must pass 3 trials. The first, face the deepest fear in your heart. The second, find the castle's key hidden in a cave of mirrors. And the third, help your father remember who he truly is." "I'm ready," Luna replied, clenching her fists. "I'll do whatever it takes." Luna ventured into the cave of mirrors. Inside, hundreds of distorted reflections surrounded her, showing images of herself and her father. The mirrors' voices whispered in unison. "Who are you, child? What do you truly desire?" "I only want my father back," Luna replied firmly. "I'm not afraid to face the shadows." One of the mirrors shattered, revealing a small golden key. Luna grabbed it and ran toward the castle, hoping to free her father. When she reached the man who still seemed lost in thought, Luna took a deep breath. "Dad," she said softly, "please remember who I am. Remember our garden, the dog you loved, and the stories you used to tell me every night." The man looked at her intently. A tear rolled down his cheek as the magic surrounding him began to fade. "Luna," he whispered, "it's you. How could I have forgotten?" Luna hugged him tightly, and together they returned through the golden door, finding themselves back in the inn. Gideon, Melisande, and the singing cat greeted them with smiles and applause. "Well done, Luna," said Gideon. "Not all stories have a hero as brave as you." "But now," added Melisande, "it's time for you two to return to your world. The inn disappears with the dawn." Luna nodded, glancing at her father. Thank you, she said to her new friends. I'll never forget this night. They stepped out of the inn, and as they walked away, the building slowly vanished into the mist, like a dream fading with the morning light. Luna and her father walked home, hand in hand as the sun began to rise. The village awakened to the day's first light, and in the distance the sweet sound of a violin could still be heard. Dad, Luna said with a smile, next time we tell a story, we'll tell it together. Yes, Luna, her father replied, and it will be the most beautiful story of all. And so, with the sun lighting their path, Luna and her father returned home, ready to write the next chapter of their lives together. The end.